What up, everybody? It's your boy Heems, and guys, we're back. We're back with another one for Rent. It's been a minute, and nobody told me this. He actually came out with Money Part 3. So, guys, without further ado, let's check this video out. Hey, that way you can sit here and play a piano like blindfolded. This is on like even on a this is on level like with like up to Putri Ariani, because like as you all know, Putri Ariani is blind, but the way she's able to perform, sing, everything, absolutely top tier. And I just love that classical play. And I see they already got a twist. Especially that they got the whole like a mask and then the rope around, like basically, I don't know, like I get the impression of like hanging yourself type thing. And it almost like from that moment right there, like, so is that supposed to be like the quote unquote the doppelganger at this point that he switches up with, like hanging yourself, like basically like, or like in a sense like you're screwing yourself or trying to fit a certain image and you're suffocating yourself in a sense. For me, what the bag and the rope represent. And then like he gets in the mirror, now he has to like change his whole look and try to look a certain way, or even like in this case a reflection, an image even.
Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. 1 year old and his first words were mine, mine, gimme. 2 years old he was walking, 3 years old walking quickly. 4 years old he was running round the pavements of his city. 5 years old and his daddy told him, listen here son, you gotta learn to be a man. A man, he works for what he wants. 6 years old and he's reading, writing, top of the bunch. And when he's 7, his progression made him student number 1. 8 years old and he's praised for unusual grades. 9, his parents paid for private school to nurture the flame. 10, 11, 12, 13, he ascends and ascends. His daddy tells him, son, money is the means to all ends. 14, solving complex mathematical equations. At 15, IQ 150, still elevating. 16, he develops complex software code that detects weaknesses in cybersecurity protocols. 17, and he sells his vision, keeping the share. Not yet an adult, but he's practically a millionaire. 18, and his daddy tells him, now you're a man. This world don't give a damn about you, so take all that you can. 9.
I like where he talks about that too, where it says like, you know, money is like a means to an end, because like, you know, people say quote unquote, you know, money is happiness. Now I will say this, money does create a sense of happiness if I would even go as far as saying like a sense of relief, because in a sense like you're able to do more. When you don't have money, you can't do nothing. All you could do is just sit there and be frustrated, whether it's anything that's like pending or imminent. or just the idea that you just don't have enough. But on the other hand, when you do have it, it's like it just opens a door. And then I like how he does the storytelling of like, I'm trying to figure out if this is either like a reference to him or if this is somebody he knows or just a story about somebody loosely. But then that part of like being a man, it's like to see that is very impactful because like, you know, you're being thrown at with so much and then it's like so much to process and yet, you know, trying to learn, you know, even from that age up on up and then to be considered as a man at this point because now you've gotten out of school, you're starting to earn some money, and it's like now you're going to start seeing more of what it really means to go through each obstacle in every situation at that time.
19, he turns a profit, stocks and shares, invest in product. 20, double down deposits. 21, his income rockets. 22, he learns the truth is just an obstacle to wealth. If you manipulate the data, then the lie will sell itself. 23, a life of luxury, crystal and cocaine. 24, he makes the Forbes list, they're applauding his name. 25, and his daddy tells him, listen here son, while you're sitting in that palace, that don't mean that you won. 26, a business shift, he switches business to arms. He's 27, dealing nuclear and shells in Iran. 28, inside the Senate, money bought him a seat. He's 29, a role of counsel in the president's suite. Now he's 30, his daddy says you're losing the race. You're just a servant to the king, not even in second place. 31, a big maneuver for his daddy's approval, moving imports over borders from the exports out of Cuba. 32, moving grams, growing kilos to tons. He's 33, filling warehouses with powder and guns. 34, turf war with nobody to stop it. Blind eye from the po-po inside of his pocket.
And the more that he talks about it, it's like it's not even so much that it references like a specific person. This is like a culmination or like a combination of like different life and lifestyles. And if you think about it, a lot of people, if not in directly or some of these examples, but like you just see, and it's like it just feels like it's never enough. It's like this constant rat race, this constant game, and then it can either take a turn for the better or a turn for the worse. You're always in the state of trying to be in approval, trying to be on top, or trying to get somewhere. I like even how he has the, it's kind of crazy if you even look at it like the drink and then, you know, the globe, because then it's like on one hand, it's like you're trying to spin, you know, own the world. But then, you know, when it comes to like alcohol and stuff like that, it's like a dangerous combination going hand in hand. So it's like it's just like destroying the world with that kind of combination.
35, he gets the call. I'm sorry, son, but it's your father. Had a heart attack, I'm sorry, he's gone. 36, getting pissed off, abusing his product. 37, eyes glazed, disposition demonic. 38, with a prostitute, a moment of passion, heating up a silver spoon and then chasing the dragon. 39, getting reckless and hungry for power. Daddy's words are still driving him to kill and devour. Makes a move against the cartel, but the strategy's flawed. They retaliate and leave him in a hospital ward. A bullet buried in his vertebra and one in his leg. The doctor sighs and says, I don't think you'll be walking again. Fuck. Let me tell you a story about a boy named Jimmy. He was 40 and he cursed the words, mine, mine, gimme. 41, he wasn't walking. 42, not walking quickly. 43, never running round the pavements of his city. 44, inside a palace with a mountain of gold. But those riches turn to rubble when perspective evolves. Weighing heavy on his conscience is the value of gold. Lamborghini for a life, trading money for souls. Jimmy followed the code inside the land of the free. Put your hand inside the cookie jar, take more than you need. And his example is exaggerated versions of me. And it's a version of him, and it's a version of she, and it's a version of you. There's no escaping the blame. The way we live is parasitic.
it's like a version of you and a version. It's like different perspectives, or like sometimes, as you're growing up, to me, or at least to me, it's like sometimes even the very goals that you may want or desire, sometimes it's not just so much like you just exclusively or just came up with this. It's a combination of like several different influences, different people, different situations that may have been the driving factor or what it is that made you to go for this type of goal. And it just like, even this, it just shows like how money, like, it is a means to an end, and it does provide happiness in the sense of the amount of freedom of what it is that you can or can't do. But then depending on the situation, depending on like, in the case of like this, the story of what he's describing, it's like, it's very fleet. You can't take it with you. And then when you look at, how you did it, how you got it, and then you sit back and you think of everything, like, was it really worth it? I like even how he gets into like, just even with capitalism and as a whole, because it's just about, the mighty dollar, getting as much as you can when you can, sometimes more than what you need. And, just making you kind of have like a little different look on life and like a perspective of, just being happy for what you have, get what you can, but like, don't go too far or beyond to a point where it can take you to situations like this.
Fuck the money and fame, cut the music. This isn't entertainment. This is real life. The way we live is lunacy, community, it declines. Hyperpolarized, always fighting, then we divide. Truth is less important than the money that we designed. Money's an invention. Politics from our invention. They all come from people's ideas.
Truth is less important than the money design, because people, they don't care about everything else, or like even the truth, just as long as they have that instant gratification. I like that quote.
Ideas. Did I mention
that verse?
Border's an invention. Law and order fuel the tension. It leads to people killing each other. My solution. Everything is subject to change. We could build utopias if individuals were taught to use their brains. But if we teach kids in schools to always be sheep and put themselves before the herd if there's more money for me, then there's no future I see where the humans survive with parasites inside a petri dish with cannibal minds. Mold will grow upon the surface and consumes till it dies. And our fate could be the same without this story to the wise.
I like how he references that in a sense about the whole like rat race and what is taught, through schools. There's more than one way to deliver a message. There's more than one way to help a child to expand and to even find ways of like helping to benefit and do more. But we're literally taught that rat race, as if basically the dream, the wife, the house, the husband, the kids, the picket fence, and then the means of sometimes of which to get it's a rat race, whether you're actually out here getting more money than others and trying to do it, or if you're taking out loans, whatever the case may be, you're trying to do all of what you can to try to achieve this form of happiness, or what appears to be happiness.
"45. Jimmy comes home out of the rain, soaking wet upon a wheelchair, drinking again. He is everything he wants, he is fortune and fame. He's a fortunate fool with an unfortunate fate. With a 45 caliber aimed at his brain. 45 a fitting number cause his age is the same. Here's the words of his father, it's such a damn shame. Then he presses on the trigger of a money game.
This makes me wonder, will there be a part 4? To anybody out there, let me know. But it really does. Like, honestly, first and foremost, let's get this out the way. You know, Ren is number one when it comes to, this dude is very multi-talented, between his singing, his rapping, music performance. This dude could play any instrument. This dude is absolutely awesome, man. The amount of effort and energy and what he puts into, like, it really gives you a different perspective. And I still love his Money Game Part 2 and 1, but this is like, man, he just took it to a whole nother level. And he has a way of, like, when he's rapping, like, he tells a very interesting story, and the visuals behind it. Because even then, like, that feeling, like, I still go back to even like what I was saying earlier about the mask, the pillowcase, and the noose, in the sense of like you're suffocating yourself. But then you look at, you know, even like how it provides that type of a anonymity or anonymous to like everything, and this can be applied to anybody at any given moment, at any given time. And just that kind of story and the way it ends for that person. You know, you go through all these situations, you know, you try to, you know, believe in the things that your parents have taught you, and this is all that your parents know based off either what's been passed down to them or to you. And, you know, you're just trying to make the best of, you know, life and living, and trying to achieve through this like a rat race. And then yet for some, you know, they're able to find that happiness, that cathartic jolt. But then you have others where it's like, when you really look at the grand scheme of everything, was it all really worth it? Was it worth the headaches? Was it worth the sacrifice? In the case of the story of this specific person, it wasn't, because of course you see all the different headaches and stress, got shot, and then like they have all this lavish stuff around them, but it's like, hey, I can't move the same, I'm not the same. Not even just on a physical aspect, but even like on a mental, emotional, psychological aspect. And, you know, to self-delete at the end, like, and yet these are stories that you hear about with different people, and these are even stories of untold, you know, individuals who we don't get a chance to hear about, or we don't see, who go through these type of situations and circumstances. Really, man, Ren outdid himself with this, and I'm glad we just happened to stumble upon this for ourselves to go ahead and check out. To everybody, I hope you enjoyed that reaction video. If you did, you like my critique, review, translation, and more. To anybody out there, if you have either your own individual translation or the absolute translation to what the song was intended for, its original intentions, please drop that in the comments below. And make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe to me at Heemscast Gaming. Make sure you hit the notification bell to know exactly when I'm going live or when we have uploads. Share the video, share the channel on all social media platforms, both online, offline, to your friends, family, fellow content creators, streamers, reactors alike. To those that want to see me live in game, I stream Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern, with early starts between 4 and 5, late starts between 7 and 8. Weekends are open schedules, so anything goes. I'm on YouTube, Facebook, Twitch, Trovo, DLive, and Kick. I stream on all 6 platforms at the exact same time. When it comes to reactions, we do upcoming gamer trailers, TV shows, movies, try not to laughs, AMVs, fan films, fan animations, freestyles, beatboxes, and other musicians and other artists all over the world. Whether it's 1 or 2 or a list, the more suggestions you guys bring to the channel, the more content we could crank out. I'm screenshotting everything, so I'm able to see both our latest and earliest suggestions. I may have missed a few things sometimes through the screenshot or as I'm reading the comments, so to anybody out there, if I overlooked you, I missed you, feel free at any given point in time, guys, to drop suggestions. If you need me to expedite the suggestion, feel free to say, hey, please react to this next, and I'll try to work on it. With my work schedule being the way that it is right now, guys, I'm working between 6 to 8 days a week. Between December the 2nd and the 17th, I'll be going on vacation. The first 4 days will basically be my days off from everything, but for the rest of that first week, including the second week, we're going to do everything we can to try to put out as many reactions as we can. But until then, guys, be on the lookout. Worst case scenario, if we don't put it out once a day, it's once every 2 to 4 days. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Discord, Snapchat, the YouTube community, and Facebook for updates and more. I will see you soon with more content to everybody out there. Peace till the next video and streams.